Ready or not, here I come.
The horror genre does not need to be reinvented. It needs a solid premise and a good follow-through with a story that makes sense and great characters. But when a movie does that and still keeps you on your toes, that's where you might get something that is above the rest. So the question is, did Ready or Not deliver? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Ready or Not.
You can hide anywhere inside the house. We then count to 100 and try to, find you.
The story of the movie starts off with a short prologue at the La Dumas family that goes horribly wrong. 30 years later, we arrive at the same family house as the young member of the family, Alex, gets married to Grace. Alex has been estranged from his family for many years and found Grace, a product of a foster family, and connected with her. The family seems to disapprove and thinks she's a gold digger, but Grace doesn't seem like that kind of a person.
Ah. Because your blood isn't blue enough. They said the same thing about me.
Little does she know that the family has a little secret. They attribute the family's wealth and success to a deal their great-grandfather made with a man called LaBelle that helped to start their own toy and game company. And in order to honor this deal, every time a new family member is brought into the fold, they have to play a game that is decided randomly and follow it through to its completion.
What does it say, girl?
It says hide and seek. Are we really gonna play that?
Grace draws a card that randomly picks the game, and she drew hide and go seek. So the game really begins. Things, however, are not as it seems, as Grace realizes that she is playing a game for her own life.
You knew what would happen if I pulled that card.
Ready or Not, as a movie, completely took me by surprise. As I said many times that the horror genre is not one of my favorites, but I do love a good story and great characters. This one has both. The premise is actually very simple, and the quick prologue already sets you up with this sense of dread. This sense leads you all the way to the start of the game as Grace realizes that something really terrible is going on.
Jesus fuck! God damn it, Emily!
All throughout the film, the movie keeps you guessing on what is really going on. Is the family serious about this game as it appears, or are they just trying to frighten this little poor girl and to make sure she's not really a gold digger out for the family's money? Every single character in the family has their own motivation and their own style of doing things, so the family is not really a united front. This makes the dynamic between the people interesting and actually engaging all throughout this whole process, especially because, and this is kind of a weird way of saying it, some of the deaths you get to experience are, for the lack of a better word, comical. There are lots of twists and turns along the way, characters flipping sides or merely looking like they're flipping sides, and always trying to keep you guessing on what is really happening or what's gonna come up next.
But she'll never be one of us.
Of course not, dear. She has a soul.
If you manage to glance over the main poster of this movie, you might pick up on some well-known actors like Adam Brody or Andy McDowell. But the centerpiece is the girl playing Grace, Samara Weaving. And yeah, you might do a double take and think it's Margot Robbie, but it's not. Weaving is Australian with very similar features to Robbie and was selected after Robbie actually turned the role down. But Samara has quite a few low-budget horror films already under her belt. I was pleasantly surprised by her acting. She seems to do the wheezing and panting in hysteria really well, but always overcoming it when the situation demands it.
You little
Ready or Not is a well-executed, no pun intended, basic horror film premise. It takes the idea of the deal with the stranger and twists it a little bit to create a unique story. In some ways, and this is due to the comedic elements, this is a more disturbing game of Clue. In others, it's a real hard-hitting horror drama that asks serious questions about morality, the existence of a soul, and how far people would go to obtain and keep their riches. And the beauty of it all, it keeps keeps you both guessing and entertained by the story at the same time. And the thing that blew my mind as the end credits roll is that it gives you a definite answer about the question that keeps circling, but it leaves you with a taste to know the rest of the story. I will gladly recommend this movie to watch. It is close to a perfect horror movie as you can get. You have a mystery, constant moving without being bogged down with too many info dumps, some jump scares, and a few story twists and turns. Plus, you don't know until the very end if this is a supernatural story or it's grounded in reality. And the weird part is, some of the characters in the movie don't even know this as well. I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching this movie and breaking it down on our live show. So please, after you watch this movie, go check it out and tell me what you think about this whole thing in the comment section down below.
This doesn't end well for you. I just don't want to be the one to serve you up.
Daniel.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.